The Honourable Member for Berthier-Masquinongé. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to thank my colleague for her speech. Very clearly, we need extra investments in our armed forces. 2% is a target through an international agreement with NATO. That's reasonable. However, we have doubts on the way we procure and sometimes waste public money on procurement. If we think about the saga of the fighters that they cancelled in 2015, then it wasn't going to be bought. Now they're going to be bought. What about submarines? It's ridiculous to buy 4 old submarines, one of which burst into flames. If we had only bought one, then perhaps we would have had enough money to fix it and make it usable. So is there a way for us to better manage public funds when it comes to procurement, adopting a budget to depoliticize the purchasing process, allowing experts to do their job rather than using it as a political job?
Good. White Rock.
I want to thank my friend for his question, and I agree with my honourable friend on all his points, because there is a lot of waste in procurement. It is over-politicized with this government. It needs to be streamlined. We streamlined the procurement process when we were in Afghanistan. Canada showed it can be done. And once we withdrew, it became more complicated all over again. $865 million and another $1 billion on used aircraft out of Australia has been spent in the last 7 years with this Liberal government, only to get us back to the F-35s, which were the best choice all along for our needs here in Canada.
Questions and comments? The Honourable Member for London Fanshawe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I thank my honourable colleague across the way for her speech. According to the Parliamentary Budget Officer, for Canada to meet that 2% of NATO spending that the Conservatives are calling for, we would have to spend an additional $54 to $56 billion annually on defence, which is approximately double what we spend now. Can the member clarify which government programs they would cut in order to justify that increase in spending?
The Honourable Member for South Surrey White Rock.
Well, I thank my friend for her question and working alongside her on the Defence Committee, where we usually get along very well. The 2% is a pledge we made. We should meet our commitment. We should be moving towards it, and we should meet it. We have already semi-committed to the F-35s, although the minister has said in this House that they're still working on it, and the other minister said it's a done deal. So I'm a little confused on that file. But what I do know is we are in desperate need, and my friend knows this as well, being in Defence Committee. We're understaffed, we're under-equipped, and we've got to fix it now.
Question commentaire, questions and comments. L'honneur of the Deputy.
The Honourable Member for Charleswood, St James, Assiniboia, Headingley.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank my colleague for her excellent speech. I want to ask her about the Cormorant helicopter fleet, because that's another category where the government has been dragging its feet. They initially budgeted to upgrade and repair the 14 helicopters back in 2017, but they seriously under-budgeted for that project. Those helicopters are essential for our air and sea rescue operations, and I'm wondering if my honourable colleague could comment on this further dragging of feet by the Liberal government.
The Honourable Member for South Surrey White Rock.
Well, I thank my colleague for his question, and of course that's kind of the name of the game, dragging their feet when it comes to procurement and when it comes to paying attention to what we need in search and rescue, in our military. Right now we have a retention and recruitment problem, and yet we're offering new recruits old equipment that literally may not work, and equipment that might put their lives in danger. One of the best tools for recruitment and retention is to get the tools we need. Our SAR personnel are the best in the world, and they deserve the best equipment.
Reprise du débat. L'honourable député.
The Honourable Member for Charlesbourg, Haute-Saint-Charles. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was looking forward to adding my comments to this motion because as a former military man, I understand the